Who's ready for some Mennonite style whoopie pies? These are a little more chocolatey and very rich compared to the Amish style ones that I've posted before. If you're unfamiliar with what whoopie pies are, they weren't even really popularized until the 20s, 30s, around that time. Some people call them gobs. Let's start with the sandwich part of this. I have about half a cup of salted butter softened. You want to partially melt that, just not completely. It just tastes so much better when it's a little bit melted. And mix that with some brown sugar, about a cup. When you mix that, just make sure it's well concocted. Why is this called whoopie pie? When you taste it, you go whoopee! Not only in your mouth, but with your voice. At least you should say that. Once it's well mixed, you want to add 2 eggs and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Do you know there's been a long debate between Maine and Pennsylvania saying who made whoopie pies first? They've even fought each other with bills over it. It's pretty bad. Why can't we just share and love both places? What's hilarious about this debate is that the oldest record of a whoopie pie is from 1931 by a Boston ad. But anyway, let's get back to this recipe. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of Dutch processed cocoa powder, a tablespoon of cornstarch. I like a little more than a single tablespoon. It's pretty overflowing there. A teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, and 3/4 cup of buttermilk. Don't add the buttermilk until after you mix all the other things, and it's not easy to mix this part. So from this second half here, we're going to just put all the dry products on top of the butter mixture that we had before, and then we'll put the buttermilk in. But do that little by little. Local buttermilk is the best. If it's not local, it's not Mennonite. Mixing it takes quite a while. You want it to be kind of thick and droopy. Back to that old ad, it was actually by Berwick, and that was because they wanted to go against Brooklyn's Devil Dogs, and if you don't know what Devil Dogs are, you can find them in stores pretty much everywhere in America. Pretty much Devil Dogs are longer whoopie pies, but not as tasty. In the 1930s, there was a book called Yummy Book, which was created by the people that made marshmallow fluff, and they had this recipe called Amish whoopie pie. But there is supposedly a Maine bakery called Labadie's, and they have documentation that they were making whoopie pies in the 20s. Let's preheat the oven at 375 Fahrenheit. You're going to I take just a 1/4 cup and I just plop some on there. It looks like the poop emoji, but you could use a piping bag. It might be neater. Plop. Okay, it gets a little stuck sometimes. It's constipated. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm baking here. Take this seriously. So why are these Mennonite versions of whoopie pies? I'd say as an adult, I can barely eat a full whoopie pie, at least this version, because it's just so rich. It's so much thicker. And since the Amish are known for being a little more stricter with their rules and the Mennonite are not, that's why I'm calling these Mennonite versions. While I am a Mennonite, I've actually made 3 different versions of these whoopie pies. My favorite is actually more of a cookie pie, but I have not posted that video up yet. One day. I will say, if you compare my Mennonite whoopie pies to my Amish whoopie pies, the cookie part for the Amish ones might be a little tastier, and the filling for the Mennonite ones are a little tastier. So maybe I should make a new version where I combine their forces. It's very interesting that I make different fillings and different pies for these sort of experiments. Let's make the filling, shall we? I have a half cup of salted butter. I let it sit out for a couple hours so it was soft enough. Actually, I didn't have salted butter. I added a little bit of salt to my butter, and it is very hard for me to mix this butter, but I get it. Oh, I forgot to say, I am cooking the sandwich parts for 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes max. Depends on your oven, really. Just where it doesn't look so wet on top. You're gonna put a cup of powdered sugar at a time, 3 total cups. I also put a tiny bit of heavy cream, maybe about half a cup total, just so it's not too thick, but I do like it creamy. I mean, you could add a little bit of heavy cream if you feel it's too creamy for you and make it smoother. And once this baby's all mixed up, we're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Look at that beauty. I made a big mess, so I'm going to clean it. My mom taught me that a good cook always cleans up her mess. So I do. Thanks, Mom. Everyone, let's thank my mom. Thanks, Mom. You know what? Thank your mom, too. Thanks, Mom. So these are the final product of the sandwiches. I'm not making a lot here. Sometimes I double the portion if I'm going to serve this to loads of people, but this is just for my family for Thanksgiving. Flip these things over. Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. I made these on Monday. I do this for all types of the whoopie pies that I make because it takes a while for the cream and everything to solidify, and it tastes so much better if I wait 3 days. Go ahead and put your cream on there. You can make it all neat if you want. I'm not particular. And this is a lot of cream. Maybe I should put a little bit less, but to me, the cream helps with the thick chocolatiness of these whoopie pies. Trust me, these are really crazy with the richness of chocolate. But you be the judge. Go ahead and make it and let me know what you think. Keep these cool in the fridge.